Hi, I'm Tom from the First Aid Training Co-operative, and what I'm going to show you in this video is how to bandage up some arm injuries. Now, most arm injuries can be treated with one of three types of sling. What's important here is not the injury itself, it's more how the casualty is presenting to you. So we've got Corey here, he's going to come in and be our casualty, and Corey is presenting to me supporting his lower arm there. I'm going to use a triangular bandage as my sling, and I need to orientate myself a little bit with my triangular bandage. So what I'm going to look for is this big point here and this long edge there. That's my two orientation zones. The point here needs to go always to the joint in the injured limb. Okay, so this elbow here. And for a low sling, down like this, I'm going to start with the bandage underneath his arm. So rather than just sort of forcing it up underneath his sore arm, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask him to lean forwards and let his arms hang down. So if you can do that for me, Corey, that's great. That allows me a bit of space just to tuck the bandage up underneath like that, lay it over the top, and then if you, let go, make sure you don't let go before he stands up. Stand up there. There we go, so I've got the point here to the joint, the bandage is underneath. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Corey to take his hand away and then very carefully put it back outside the bandage, and that allows me to get the bandage around his arm, making sure it's all in the right place, and then I'm going to tie it around the back of his neck. Now ideally, what I want to do is use a bit of padding here, just to make it a little bit more comfortable in the back of his neck. Okay, so I've supported it. Just to finish up, what I'm going to do, I could either use a safety pin to tie that up, or I could twist just and tuck that in. Just going to tuck it in there at the back. Okay, and that just keeps his elbow in. I just need to ensure that it is supported all the way along and that I can still access a finger to check circulation. If I wanted to move him anywhere, perhaps move him out to a car, or if the journey to hospital involves speed bumps, or indeed I had to walk him somewhere off a hill or something like that, I might put then a broad bandage around here just to fix this down to his body. So that is our low sling. Okay, in this sling that I'm going to show you now, my casualty Corey is presenting by supporting underneath his elbow. So he's wanting his elbow to be supported. That's making him as comfortable as he can be. So this we call a high sling. Again, I'm going to orientate by putting the point at the joint here, but this time for a high sling, I'm going to lay the bandage over the casualty's arm. I'm going to lay it over like that, and I've got my point at my joint here. I'm just going to step across the other side and tuck the bandage just under his hand there. Again, I need to hold and ask him to take his hand out and put it back. Okay, and support still. And now I'm going to give him a hug so that I can reach the two ends of the bandage around his back. Tie that in a knot. Okay. Coming around to this side again, what I need to do now is just make sure, again I could use my safety pins or twist and tuck. Make sure that's nice and stable, nice and supported. Make sure his hand is cupped in the bandage there, it's not going to fall away, and that I can check a thumb for circulation. So that is our high sling. Okay, so in the last of our slings, my casualty this time is presenting by holding his wrist. So that is where he wants the support. So I'm going to replicate that by doing what we call a collar and a cuff. So I'm just going to turn my bandage there into a strap. Okay, and this strap I'm just going to put around his wrist. I'm going to put a couple of twists in it just to make sure it holds. And I'm going to again tie it around the back of his neck, again with a bit of padding if I've got something. And there we have a collar and cuff. In summary then, we've just demonstrated the three main sling techniques using a traditional triangular bandage. Remember, your casualty will be presenting in the position that's most comfortable for them, so our phrase is bind as you find.